Good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to Emertxe's course demo webinar and placement journey. My name is Jayakumar. I am part of Emertxe's leadership team. Along with me, I have my colleague Mubeen, who is our technology head. So we both will be taking you through this particular session for today. So at a high level, the goal of this session every month we run is to meet the prospective people who are aspirants to get into the domain of embedded systems, but they need a guidance and the right set of insights, and then where the industry is heading, where are the jobs coming from, and why this particular segment is quite bullish as far as the broader industry is concerned. As you might have heard, things like semiconductor revolution and things like that. So we'll touch on those aspects, and also we will talk about about how the course is going to get delivered, because you might be already spoken to our team of counselors. I still have some questions about it. That's where my colleague Mubeen will talk about the course delivery part. For example, in online, when the course is getting delivered, you may have some questions. Offline, how it is delivered, you may have some questions. What are the hardware, what are the various platforms you will learn, how you take up the journey of skill building. We'll go through that. Then the third part, again, we'll talk about placements, how to apply for placements, what is the placement support duration, etc. So that way, this particular presentation is divided into three aspects, right? An industry overview, course details, and the placement details. To a larger extent, we would like to keep it as interactive as possible. I'll be asking you guys questions in between. You guys can answer it. And even if you have any questions, you need to wait. You can just keep shooting the Q&A at the chat window. Me and my colleague Mubeen will pick it up, and then we will keep on answering. Okay. So with that note, let me share my screen and get started with the session for today. Is my screen visible to all of you? Can you just confirm once? I put up my slide there. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you guys. Okay, in the presentation mode. So once again, warm welcome. Let us get started. Most of you know about Emertxe. Just to introduce ourselves, we are an EdTech company. We have been in this field of education for the past 20 plus years. At a high level, as an organization, we are aspiring to solve two problems or two challenges that we face. One is the employability challenge. As you all know, India has become a country of engineers. Every year, India produces somewhere around 1.5 million engineering graduates. In that, very few of them are having the employable skills. So the reason why this challenge exists, because the 4 years of engineering degree and undergraduate degree a student does today largely delivered in a theoretical fashion. Whereas today's modern day jobs requires people to have a applied knowledge. You all have probably a good amount of academic academic credentials, having good CGPAs. In fact, we get some of the students who are university rank holders, gold medalists who join our courses, right? So the idea is not about that particular academic record. Whereas how much of the knowledge that you gained in the college is able to enable you to apply in the real-time world. So that's where we come in, and we offer these long-term courses in embedded systems, IoT, or in full-stack web development. All these courses are 6 months duration, delivered both online and offline. And here, embedded system and IoT, we deliver in the brand name of Emertxe. And we also have our sister brand, which is WebStack Academy, where we deliver the full stack web development or the MERN stack courses. So, we basically take our students in the journey of skill building, practically equip them with the modern day skills, and help them to get into a job. Okay. So when we say we help them get into a job, we have a very strong partnership with more than 1,500 companies, which is hiring our students. We have established this strong collaboration over the past 20 plus years. Either startups, mid-sized companies, MNCs, they all hire and participate in our activities. So they continue to hire and give the job opportunities for our students. And when our students are trained and they get an opportunity, they're able to convert that opportunity into a job. So that's the employability zone. In the similar lines, we also work in the upskilling zone, where either we upskill working professionals who wanted to basically upskill themselves and move ahead in their career, or we work with corporate organizations in terms of delivering their learning and development programs or L&D programs to ensure that we are in the zone of empowering organizations to build a more technically competent workforce. Right? So this is what we do. And any training program, any technology, we make it hands-on. That's a picture that you see there, hand making a pot. And we believe that when you want to make a pot, definitely you need to make your hands dirty. Not only your hands dirty, you also do a lot of mistakes. Then only you will learn. So that's a kind of an experiential learning that we do in our Emertxe. Okay. So talking further about our leadership team, three of us are part of Emertxe's leadership team. Mr. Mas is the founder and the managing director of the organization. He primarily heads the organization, taking care of the business related responsibilities. I am Jayakumar. I have more than 20 years of work experience, almost like 24 years. So in this 24 years, initial 12.5 years, I spent with 3 corporate organizations. To start with, I started my career in Ishoni Networks, worked there for 2 years in embedded networking space. Then moved on to HP, Hewlett Packard, where I worked in the printer firmware for 7.5 years, working on various layers and various protocols of the HP's inkjet printers. Then I moved on to Huawei Technologies, where we worked on Huawei's telecommunication and networking products. Primarily my team was responsible for customizing the Linux for various Huawei's product portfolio. So 12.5 years I spent in these 3 organizations. Then definitely education has been my passion from my college days, and I come from a teacher, family of teachers. So you can say that way teaching is in my blood. So I thought, why don't I combine and make, my passion, of empowering people with education a reality. And then Mas has been my friend for a long period of time. We know each other quite some, during my HP days itself. Then I made a transition from Huawei, and then joined, Emertxe. And during my stint with HP, me and Mubeen were colleagues. Mubeen will touch upon a bit more about that. So we were in the same division in different teams. So that way, we 3, different timelines, we came together and, being part of Team Emertxe now. At current, capacity of Emertxe, I primarily work with the delivery team and, working with the team of mentors, taking care of, the basically the delivery aspects of program, various training programs that we do, and also, the placements part, mainly working with the clients, companies to ensure that, we have enough opportunity for our students get generated. So that's been my primary responsibility in Emertxe, even though I played different roles over the years. So that's kind of a current portfolio that I handle. Okay. So with that note, I would like to pause and, go off the video. Maybe I request Mubeen to make a introduction of yourself. Mubeen, can you proceed?
Yeah. Thanks, Jay. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Mubeen, you are.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. So good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to this webinar today. So I work at Emertxe as a technology head, and it's been more than 14 years I'm working with Emertxe in this role. So prior to working at Emertxe as a technology head, I have worked in other companies. So in general, I come from a software engineering and architecture background. So I have worked in companies including Novell and HP as a top software developer and a lead engineer. So overall, I'm having 21 years of experience in the software industry as well as in Emertxe. Primarily, initially I started off as a junior software engineer, worked on different technologies including EDA software development, Python-based application, device drivers, and so on. And post that, I got opportunity to work in Novell, who were initially into network-based application development, followed by they started developing the SUSE Linux platform. I'm not sure how many of you know about it. So in Novell, I got opportunity to work on application development for their groupware suite, and also was managing the SUSE build platform. Jay, I think your screen is visible. Can you maybe unshare your screen? Yeah. All right, thanks. So at Novell, I worked on open source based projects, primarily in the Novell groupware suite, and also I was one of the engineers who used to manage the build platform at SUSE. And post that, I moved on to HP. I worked for almost 4 years in HP, developing software for their products in HP. Initially, I worked in a team which was called as HPOM team. Then from there, I moved to another team which was developing HP LIP, which is HP Linux imaging and printing solutions, wherein I worked as a lead engineer developing printer firmware for HP Linux, HP printers on the Linux platform. So I come from a software development and background. Then post that, I decided that maybe I should do something at a different level. That's when I got into Emertxe as a member of the core team. So at Emertxe, I work as a technology head. I used to manage a set of technical mentors who deliver trainings in the area of embedded systems and IoT. I'm also basically into the curriculum development and strategy of developing new courses at Emerging. So in today's session, we'll focus on what the embedded system course is all about. So I'll be touch basing about how the course is delivered, what are the modules you're going to learn as part of the course, and how the training is delivered in online as well as offline mode. And also touch upon like how the placement preparation related activities work at Emerging. So these are aspects which we are going to cover today, along with other aspects which already was discussed by Jayakumar. And if you have any questions related to the course, etc., feel free to ask, and we'll be happy to answer your queries. So with this, I'll hand over to Jay. Jay can proceed.
Thank you, Mubeen. Thanks for sharing your introduction. Let me share my screen once again. So over the years, actually, one of the key strengths that we have, as I mentioned, is a strong set of placement partners. We have more than 1,500 companies in our kitty. For example, you can categorize them into the what you guys students generally call MNCs, or we call it as global capacity centers, who have their offices in Bangalore or any other major cities in India. For example, Qualcomm, LG, HP, ABB, Toshiba, these type of companies. And we also have partnership or collaboration with a lot of mid-sized companies who hire our students. For example, Boat, many of you know already using their Boat products, right? American Megatrends, Avin Systems have been our regular recruiters who work on various product lines and domains of embedded systems. And we also have startups who are entrepreneurial ventures, who are small organizations working in certain niche technologies. For example, companies like Robonoid, Pace Robotics. As you can see, the name itself says a lot of robotics in it. So these type of niche companies also hire our students, right? So this is a kind of clientele profile we have. These logos just to give a snapshot. But if you wanted to get into the real details, you can get into our website or social media, where we keep on publishing about the placement calendar, which company came, which students got selected. So every information that we have with our placement, all of them are published outside, so that we always be transparent when it comes to the placement data. Okay. So this is about our placement companies. And yeah, so let us touch a bit about the placement trends, what's happening. One of the key challenges that we face ever since the year 2024 started was about the recession or the slowdown, whatever we are observing in the market, due to many reasons, due to war, due to economic policies, due to the geopolitical challenges, etc. But irrespective of that, definitely the segment which we are targeting, if you look at the jobs that we are targeting, it is predominantly on the embedded software side, where the companies which are recruiting our students recruit them for software development of any of these domains like automotive, electric vehicle, consumer electronics, robotic, etc., developing various components or solutions as a part of this ecosystem. So these organizations, if you see, definitely they're also affected due to the slowdown. I'll show you some numbers. But compared to the regular IT or the application development, which is also going through a sea of changes due to the revolutionary changes that has been introduced by artificial intelligence, as you can see, right? Many of the jobs are getting gobbled up and things like that. So that kind of challenges are not there in the industry we are working. Partly because of two reasons. One is if you look at the companies or the jobs we are targeting, these companies hire on a long-term basis. For example, if you are thinking about an electric vehicle company, they take anywhere around 4 to 5 years to produce their product to the market as a first time. Okay. In the similar lines, if you take any of the companies you're working, in fact, if you go for aeronautics, it takes even longer cycle. So that's one reason. Second thing is the way how the embedded software is getting developed, it is not so easy to replace with the chat GPT or any of the variants, right, where it can generate some source code. Of course, you can use it as a co-pilot, but you're all involved in developing a customized software for the customized hardware, where it requires a lot of know-how of software, hardware interfacing, right? And then understanding the schematics of the board, understanding how you can customize the software for the particular target hardware, etc. Right? Given these things, companies still tend to hire. The market is looking quite positive. Of course, it can become better. We're all hoping for that to even to bounce back much more better in the coming months. Okay, but having said that, this segment is growing quite well. So if you look at the data that we published in the Skill India, with whom we work with in the certification space, we'll talk about it in the subsequent slides, right? So they keep publishing these job market related reports quite regularly. If you look at specifically the semiconductor and device sector in India, where these organizations, whichever I mentioned, can be brought into, so they are actually going through a pretty good growth, in terms of both the number of product lines and kind of additional offerings like manufacturing coming in, right? Now, all these things resulting in more jobs are getting created. For example, if you look at this particular graph, in the last 3-4 years, which is growing at around 10% per annum, or at 9.8% of component annual growth rate, or CGPA, sorry, CAGR, sorry. So which is expected to double and become around 20%, right? And then it is expected to generate around 288K, which is, the numbers are nothing mentioned in thousands, which is nothing but 288,000. Roughly, can say around 3 lakh jobs are going to get generated in the next year or two. So overall, this particular segment is looking very promising, and they expect that the next big revolution in India is going to come by fueled by semiconductors. You can see any of the majors are Indian conglomerates like Tata or L&T. They already established the semiconductor semiconductor organization, Tata Semiconductors and L&T Semiconductors. They're already building the manufacturing base. So going forward is going to generate good amount of manufacturing jobs. Not only manufacturing jobs, it's going to generate good amount of design jobs also. So when you say design jobs, again, a job which is done by an engineer, people like you, where again the design can be divided into a software job, which you call it as an embedded software engineer job, or a hardware job, which you guys typically call it as a VLSI design engineer job. So if you look at today, there's a huge surge in that. The more jobs are coming in the embedded software side, something around 35, 65 it was. Now it is becoming 70, 25, and 5. You can also see the AI/ML coming in. Definitely AI/ML has become a integral part of any technology that we can think of, so as in any embedded system product. So my angle about AI and ML with respect to our domain is also that by AI and ML coming in, the opportunity only got enhanced, because there is no more amount of products, more amount of solutions that are getting innovated by combining the AI's capability with the existing embedded products. For example, as simple as a CCTV, right? Or as simple as any type of traffic control systems, right? These things that we see, they're getting more intelligent by AI coming in, right? For example, a smart traffic lighting system, depending on the, instead of like say 30 seconds to 0, instead of coming like depending on the traffic, if the traffic light can adjust its duration, so a lot of automation can be done. So the existing embedded systems, like whether it could be a traffic light or it could be a CCTV camera, combined with the intelligence of AI, it is actually enhancing much more opportunities coming up, right? So my request is, especially with this domain, I'm sure it comes up in pretty much all the webinars that we speak. Sir, will AI take away my job, or it's going to take away jobs from this particular industry? Yes, it's already taking away. But with respect to this industry, where we talk about semiconductor and products, right, or semiconductor devices, by AI coming in, it is only enhanced the possibilities. Okay. So that's about the growth part. And this it's a media news which was there for quite some time, saying, right, 3 lakh skilled professionals are required for our industry. And the important point all of us to notice, right, the information whatever I shared, which is very much in the public domain. As I said, this all we are referred to the various job market reports and shared over here. But this is the data that is more realistic. right? When you say realistic, what happens in Emertxe on a day-to-day basis? For example, in the year 24, or even before that, we used to have around 100 companies coming every month. But definitely that has, changed because of the slowdown or the recession. But still, if you can see, last year in 2024, we had, a kind of a 60 to 70 companies coming every month, right? Which the trend continues this year also. For example, this year in February, we still have, some days left. So we are already, had 56 companies participating in the placements. So definitely there is a challenge, there is a issue because of the recession or slowdown. But as I mentioned, because of the long-term nature of the industry or the projects, and also our India is becoming a preferred place to do the design and manufacturing. Definitely these jobs are looking much better than the traditional IT job or traditional outsourcing job. So again, once the market, the way how the growth is projected, definitely it's going to open up much more job opportunities in the coming years. And not only that, provide young engineers like you a very long career path. For example, some of my colleagues, I was mentioning about HP, they work in the same company for 25 years now, right? And they'll continue for next rest of their career. They'll work in the same company. Imagine, right? These things you might not have heard of. Probably you would have heard of in the previous generation when somebody worked for the public sector or in a known public sector like Tata's, right? Only there people will work in the same company for almost their entire career. So that is becoming a possibility in India, thanks to the longer nature of projects, complex technology that is involved, right? So my point is, see this as a very good opportunity for you to grow your career on a long-term basis. So most of you, I'm sure, would be in the early 20s. You have at least a 40 years of career to look forward to. So definitely, whatever the statistics that I shared so far, it's only on the very good growth path. And here, when you talk about the recruiting companies, they predominantly care about your skills. For example, factors like year of pass out, percentage, even to some extent, the good extent, the branch we studied, right? Those things doesn't matter, because the companies also know whatever you obtain so far from the college, that is not going to be helpful for them. So that's the reason why they go with the methodology or approach what Emertxe is working with them, so that they can actually pick the guy who is suitable for their organization. Okay. So my request is to take this as a very good opportunity, focus on the skill building. Definitely the success will come to you. Okay. So when the success comes to you, right, we typically show certain success stories there. I thought I'll download, then it's starting a TK. Anyways, I'll show you guys our Instagram page itself, where you can see a lot of success stories getting published. I hope all of us know this, but still, otherwise you can look out for Emertxe IT as a handle in Instagram. Right, our team keep publishing data very regularly. For example, recently we had these two chaps, Muhammad Sahal and Krishnan Unnimenan, cracking a premium, Qualcomm job. And also, since Krishnan Unni had a previous experience in Infosys as a test engineer, they could even take him at a higher designation and higher salary. For example, Sahal is a fresh out of college guy, whereas Krishnan has got a decent experience. Right, sometime back, we also had a student Shrishti getting selected with Qualcomm. So time to time, we can also see the compensation is only increasing, but of course their expectations also increasing. Right? My point is, if you follow what has been taught in university, do well, build good amount of projects, right? And also learn the additional skill set our mentors are going to teach in the course, right? So definitely any of you will be able to crack up these opportunities. So on moving on, if you see the various success stories that we have, let us say, for example, career switches. When you say career switch, people were working as one particular domain, one particular role, they're able to give a role change for themselves. For example, students like Deva from production house, he is able to transition himself as a embedded professionals with one of our clients, LDRA, right? And similarly, Tejas, who's been an apprentice with BEL, now got placed with our client called Galler, right? And similarly, another student was working as a Python programmer, probably an application developer, who got a core job with Melange system. They were kind of quite advanced embedded system products, right? And this is a sample, right? You can just check our Instagram page. There are lots and lots of success stories, right? And the similar lines, we also having good amount of them cracking the what you call the campus to corporate, are the freshers. This is the freshers. You can see, right? We had latest selections coming from Votary Tech, Qualcomm, Raitan, right? A lot of these people are there, right? Carry 38 Labs. Right? of such examples are there. I think every week our team publishes some data. If you look at the last week or so, let's see here. And some of them could be from the latest batch. Some of them could be from the older batch. You already saw Deva's example, right? He's a 2019 graduate, right? But still he's able to take up our course and basically get into the job, whatever he has desired. And the reason being, as I mentioned, it's not about the year of experience or which year you passed out, right? And things like that. Whereas it's all about the skills that you demonstrate to our placement companies. So these are some of the examples. And of course, our Instagram page is quite rich, where our team keeps populating a lot of information about our placements. Not only about placements, we are also being a lot of awareness content here. You can see here, traditional versus electric scooter and things like that. So leverage this particular resource and see how basically students are able to achieve success stories. And I always tell in our webinar that if these students can achieve, why can't? They all come from similar engineering college background. They all come from similar places. Their academic records look similar. But my request is, if they can achieve, why you can't achieve? It's all about having the focus and giving it 100% of effort in our skill building journey so that you become industry ready. So that's kind of the first section which I wanted to share. Let me go off the video for a minute. Yeah. So and then we'll take some questions if you have. Let me unshare my screen also. Yeah. So, okay. That's a question from Aditya. Good evening, sir. Presently I'm in BTech third year. Second, I want to take your course. Will you provide placement in my final year? Yeah. See, Aditya, this is again becoming a trend nowadays where a lot of students who are in their final year are joining our courses, right? So what we tell them is, when you join our course, right? By say, for example, you are finishing, let us say 6 months down the line, but still you have one more semester left. So kindly note, all our recruiting companies would expect you to complete that degree, whether it's a normal way or somebody has supplementary, they finish it, right? So they expect you to produce a provisional degree certificate upon joining, right? So what we suggest is, rather than looking at it as a job in the final year, you say that by the time I complete my final year, I'll be far ahead in the job market, using which, definitely with Emertxe support, you'll be able to join a good company. And it's a very good thing that you've done by joining Emertxe in your final year itself, because by the time your friends figure it out what they need to do with their career, and then they'll come and ask you, which institute to join, probably, quite an amount of time would have got lagged. So that way you have the advantage of time. Definitely, go and finish up your next 1 year of study, and then, gain a good skill set through Emertxe. Definitely placing of you is very well possible, but kindly note that will happen only after you finish your engineering, because companies ask for the provisional degree certificate. Hope that is clear. Okay. Yeah, Aditya just said. Yeah. So can't we get embedded systems internship for free? Okay. So that's also we run, Kavana. Actually, what has happened was there are two type of things that has got introduced now. So one was for the past 4 years we've been running a 1 month or 1.5 month free internship program. For example, that is mainly targeted for the third year students who wanted to, get a flair of embedded program. Right? They've never done any embedded programming. They just want to get started with that and build a decent project. So what we do, we basically offer that program for free, and they take up the program in the evening mode, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Our classes happen, because that doesn't clash with the students' academic routine, or even if your day comes, you should be able to come home and do these sessions. So what we do, we make them write a program or project which will be around 1,000 lines of code. So that I would say just a kickstart, which we do it for free inside the campus students. But kindly note, this program does not come with placements. Right? So in order to obtain the placements, definitely there are two aspects important. One is compared to what our free internship students learn in terms of skills, right? That is just that's more of a kickstarting skills. Right? With that, you will not be able to crack a placement company. So you have to spend more time. That's why students come and they opt for the long-term paid program, which we are discussing here, and then they get placed. So only for this particular paid program, we offer the placement support. Hope that is clear. Okay. Then there's a questions from Anbu Selvan. Let us take it. Let me go off the video. Okay. So I'm currently studying second year of ECE. Now I'm interested in taking online evening course. So is it recommended for me? Yes, definitely. The earlier the better, because by the time you finish your engineering and come, as I said, you will be far ahead in the job market. But only constraint or only point which I said was, since all the companies expect you to join immediately, you will be able to start applying for placements only after you get that provisional degree certificate. I already clarified previous question. So, yeah, can you provide placement opportunities after I finish my degree, which I will complete in 2 years? Yes, that's the idea. Okay. So, because you're in the final year, maybe some of your batchmates or friends who join now, who already completed engineering, they can start applying for the placements 4 months down the line after the 4th month, right? But whereas we cannot allow you because you need to complete your degree, and then once you complete your degree, we can support you for 2 years, no problem. So this, I know some of the students who are in the pre-final year, might have this concern, and they keep asking about that, right? We say it's okay, let your batchmate starts. Batchmate means this people in this particular batch, your friends, right? Assuming that you guys join for our course, right? But what you can do, you can go do a very good skill building, then go back to the college, complete their academic requirements, then you can start applying for placements. And the 2-year window, we can keep it open from the time you are ready, not when it starts for your batch. That way, we want to give a good support to people like you. And then I spoke with one of our counselors, sir. They mentioned that attendance will be taken for online courses. However, I'll not be able to attend classes for about a week during college exams. Is a remedy for this, sir? So first and foremost thing, Anbu Selvan, there is no remedy. If you're absent, you're absent. As simple as that. So at the same time, it is not like how you see in college, you take the friends' notes and then study. That won't work. So if you're absent, you will remain absent. You need to figure it out ways, right, to gather the practical experience which you missed. But generally, I recommend, right, not to basically worry too much about, not to bother about your college aspect of it. Anyways, you will get a good marks, right? Whatever you've done, 6 or 7 semesters, right? I suggest you start focusing on the focusing on the course that is taught in Emertxe, because your college, whatever you study, that is more from a qualification point of view, where you get a degree, whereas the placement of job opportunities you only get through Emertxe. So we are able to see the big difference. So kindly focus on your studies, Emertxe studies. Somehow you manage academics, definitely you can, right? Don't take probably a week off or something. Maybe a couple of days you take and then try to manage. Is it the course is offline or offline? Vishwajit is telling both options are there. Vishwajit, just wait for some time. We'll explain you the details. Okay. Again, Anbu Salkin, sir, can you tell me the projects we do using the course in detail? See, basically, our mentors have already created a set of projects, and these projects are module based or subject to whatever you're studying, and they are derived based on the real-time industry use cases. So this way, you will not be implementing a real industry, hardware or something like which will be proprietary to them, but you will use these, standard hardwares like Arduino and build the projects, right? So that whatever you're building, it is in sync with the industry needs. That much we have ensured. So that means, as long as you do the projects properly, right, and attendance and assignments properly, definitely you landing in a premium job, it becomes very well possible. Anbu Selvam. Okay, what is the embedded systems course eligibility? We require people to complete the BTech or MTech. Vaishnavi. Hello, this is Sahil. Sir, you know the data about embedded software engineer. Lakhs of students get your course, but only few students get placed with good package. What about the other students, sir? See, again, Sahil, actually what happened, this is a very, since, as I said, rightly you are mentioning about the data, right? See, if you see that particular companies, right, the premium companies or any other companies, right, they are actually, in by design, right? Anywhere you go, right? We are not telling that all our students are getting placed for premium companies, right? Definitely the premium companies are relatively less in number. If you can possess the higher skill level as prescribed by mentors, you can see, right, those are the students who are getting placed in such companies. Right? Definitely not a premium one, but a lot of other students are getting with decent packages, let's say around 4 lakhs, good amount of them get placed. Okay. So the idea is it depends on your skill level. If you have high skill level, definitely your package will be high. And students, if they follow whatever mentors are telling, I don't see any reason they cannot crack a premium company. They can very well crack it. Okay. I am Darshan. If you have very good set of skills in the academics, in matter of placement. See, Darshan, as I said, when it comes to Emertxe, if you have a good academic record, that's nice. But as I said, that is not a mandatory criteria. because companies look for the skill set. It's not the game, right? The game of your job such as changed. Earlier, you're banking upon your college academic records. If it is there, that's good. I'm not going to deny, take away the merit. But what companies are looking for is the skill that you've gained in university and how well you are able to demonstrate in the interview. If you do that, definitely they will hire you. Okay. Is this internship of 1 month can add value in the resume? See, Vishwajit, I think don't confuse with the internship, that's separate program. Whatever we're talking about today, it is a full-time program. It's a 6 months program. It's a paid program. It comes with placements, right? But if you ask me, our free program which you give for 1 month, is it be valuable? Yes, because you're going to anywhere, whether you're learning in a paid program or you're learning in a free internship program. Anything that we do, we make the learning very intense and outcome oriented. So that way, attending our free internship also, and then ensure that they work on the projects, not about only attending, right? And we are very strict that only when you submit the project after the implementation, we'll give you the final certificate. That way, by working a project where you write about 1,000 lines of code, it will definitely add value to your resume. I think a lot of questions have come. Okay. So what I'll do is I will, in the interest of time, what we do is we will just pause here. I will hand out to my colleague Mubeen because we are moving to the second portion of the this particular presentation. So what we'll do is let him cover the content. Let us see if some of the questions can get answered as a part of his section of presentation. If not, we'll come back and then we will further discuss. Right. So I'm stopping till Sahil. Subsequent to that, I'm seeing question from Darshan Gowda. Right? No. Vishwajit we did. We are studying from Gino. Right? From Gino, I will take it up. In the meantime, some of the questions, a good amount of the questions that you have, there's a highly likely chance that Mubeen will be able to answer any session. So I'll go off the video, request Mubeen to take over the session and then deliver the, talk about the delivery part of the, course. Thanks, Mubeen.
So thanks, Jay. Hope my screen is visible to you. Can you please confirm in the chat? Thank you. So I'll go off the video. I'll focus on the screen here, right? So what I'm going to explain now is what is that you can learn as part of the course. I understand that you have a lot of questions with respect to placements, etc., which will be covered in the subsequent, which will be gradually covered after I complete these topics, right? So it's important to understand what embedded system course is all about and what you're going to learn. So please understand when you learn your subjects in college, right? You would have studied around 40-45 subjects in your 4 years of engineering, right? And the question comes, is it not enough for me to get a job? This depends on how you completed your engineering, right? But what we've done is that we have created a course curriculum which is aligned to the industry demands. So based upon what the industry expects and what is required to become a good embedded engineer, we have carved out the syllabus, and these are the modules which you'll be learning as part of the course. Now, we have two separate tracks. One is the online track and the offline track. So these topics will be covered in both the tracks. So to start off with, you're going to learn about a module called as Linux Basics or Linux Systems, where you're going to cover about the essentials of Linux. So I'm sure you might have heard about Linux or at least used Linux in your college. So here we're going to discuss about Linux commands, which is required for you to get started with development using Linux. Okay, so I think my screen is getting refreshed. Just a moment. So it got reloaded. Let me zoom it. So after that, we'll talk about C programming. So C programming is an essential subject which is required to build embedded applications, right? So even if you studied C in college, what we're going to teach here is going to be quite exhaustive. You'll learn from the basics to advance, and C is required to build embedded applications, right? If you worked on Arduino or other basically systems, C programming has to be covered extensively. So we'll cover up C starting from the basics. Even if we don't know C, that's fine, right? We'll teach the programming concepts from scratch. So followed by C, there are the other modules, including C++, which is an extension of C, wherein you're going to learn about concepts like object-oriented programming and so on. And post that, you learn about data structures.
Oh, Mubeen, only your white screen, your PPT is there, but nothing is coming in the screen.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not sure. Okay, I think that's why people are raising their hand. Nothing is seen. Let me just unshare and share once again.
Sure. Yeah.
Is it visible now, the screen?
Yes, now it's visible, yes.
Okay, sorry about that, not aware.
Students, I think, yeah. I think it looks okay now.
Okay. So I'll maybe just quickly repeat what I was explaining. So these, as part of the embedded system course, you're going to learn about following modules, starting with Linux basics, which is like a shorter module. We're going to learn about Linux commands. And following that, you learn about C programming, starting from basics to advanced, including like problem solving will be covered extensively here. So C programming is fundamental to embedded system programming. So you learn about C in detail, which will be used in other modules as well. Right? Following C, you learn about C++, wherein you're going to learn about class objects, which is part of object-oriented programming concepts. Apart from C++, you're going to learn about data structures. You might have heard about like stacks, queues, etc. And you might have heard about DSA in general, right? So it's kind of a very popular module if you want to get into product companies and you want to get into premium companies. Data structures is very important. Moreover, you're going to cover about these topics so that later on you can develop more complex application using data structures. And at the heart of the course, you have a microcontroller module, which is also called as embedded system programming. You learn about microcontroller programming using PIC microcontroller, wherein you learn about architecture, peripheral interfacing, protocols, and so on. And along with these modules, you're going to build projects which are useful for you to like learn about the concepts. Plus, you can showcase it in your resumes as well. So more often this question comes, okay, how do I apply for premium companies? How do companies shortlist us, etc.? So the more projects you do, better it is for you to get an opportunity in companies. So as part of the course, you'll be working on at least 8 projects, which will help you to build confidence and also showcase it in your resume. So following microcontrollers, you'll learn about Linux internals, wherein you focus on operating system concepts like process, multi-threading, multiprocessing, network programming, and so on. So Linux internals will cover those aspects. And in the end, you're going to learn about ELAM module, Embedded Linux on ARM, wherein we teach you about the board bring up part of it. Here you learn about Linux kernel compilation. Let's say a new board is given, how do you basically bring it from scratch, etc. These concepts are covered. So don't worry. I believe that some of you are familiar with these, at least the names which you heard about C, C++, data structures. And if you don't know anything about it, we're going to teach you from scratch. So all these modules will help you to become an embedded software engineer. Now, what else, right? So here, apart from the subjects, right, I wanted to discuss a few things about how we're going to learn these subjects, right? So we have around 6 months as part of the course. So in these 6 months is very much different from your college days, wherein in college you are focusing on attending the classes which are mostly theoretical and you focus on exams. Here it's not like that. Our idea is to ensure that you learn the concepts but you're able to apply it practically. Now, how do you ensure that you learn things practically? So apart from class sessions and lab sessions, wherein you have to work on assignments which are relatively lesser in nature, which will help you to apply the concepts which you learned in the class. So following the assignments, you'll have to work on projects, right? So projects are moderately complex. I'm not going to say that's like a mega project. It's going to be a moderately complex project. We should be able to complete in, let's say, a span of 3 to 5 days. Here, you'll apply whatever concepts you learned, let's say in C or data structures or microcontrollers. You'll work on that project and you'll complete the project on your own with the help of the mentors. So this is our learning pedagogy or learning methodology wherein you'll have to attend the class and lab, followed by you have to work on practical aspects of it, right? So only by learning practical things, you'll gain the confidence, you'll gain the necessary knowledge. And this is what the industry expert. Practical knowledge is very key to help you get a job. Apart from doing projects, assignments, etc., we'll also conduct some tests like objective test, module test, etc., which will help you understand where you stand in terms of your knowledge, right? So tests are required so that you can judge yourself, right? It also help you to clear the interviews, because in interviews they'll ask questions from these tests again, right? Now this is related to the module or subject. Now what kind of support you can expect? Yes, support we can expect in the class, in the lab. Apart from class and lab, we'll give you online support. So online support is helpful if you are like stuck somewhere, you need any further support, you need some individual basically attention, etc. You can post your queries in discussion forums as well as in WhatsApp groups. So asynchronously, let's say you're working on some task or some activity like assignments, you have some doubt, you can always feel free to ask questions in the WhatsApp channel or discussion forum, wherein our mentors are there, will respond to your queries. So this way you're giving a complete end-to-end support, not just while you are attending the class or lab sessions, but also after your class and lab sessions when you're independently working on your modules, right? Now, as you progress with modules, it's also important that you're ready for placements, right? So the placement process, etc., will be discussed in detail by Jayakumar. So I just wanted to highlight you that we will also conduct some placement preparation sessions, right? This is also important. For example, let's say you are attending a real interview. Before you want to attend a real interview, you want to see how an actual interview happens, right? So we will conduct something called as mock interviews, which will help you prepare yourself before an actual interview, right? So you'll come to know how to face an interview, how to introduce yourself, right? How to confidently explain a project, how to explain a concept, what kind of experiment you can expect, questions you can expect in interviews, etc., will be covered in this, and feedback will be given to you. So feedback, right, depending upon your performance, feedback will be given. You can work on your improvement areas in the subsequent rounds of interview. Further, we'll conduct additional sessions like company-specific questions. We will share it with you. So we have a huge database of company-based questions, right? These are exclusively available for our students, which you will get access to, right? And more such activities are conducted like interview prep sessions, and we have a dedicated placement team who will be working with you to facilitate your placement drives and help you basically attend the interviews from starting to the end, right? They will be assisting you from starting to the end of the placements, right? We do a student success team, this team will closely work with you. They'll conduct some coaching sessions. They'll also guide you as to how you need to basically prepare for an interview, how you should be attending your daily sessions, and what you need to do become successful and land up in a job, right? They'll guide you and they'll handhold you till the end of the course. So this is a high-level summary with respect to how our course modules are laid out, what you'll be doing on a day-to-day basis, what kind of support you can expect as part of the course, how we'll prepare you for placements, as well as the coaching part, which will be done so that you are always motivated and stick to the course so that you complete the task and eventually land up in a job. So that's about the course pedagogy. Any questions you have, you can let me know. Feel free to ask the questions in the chat box. Okay, I could see 2 questions already coming up. So in online mode, do we have doubt session? Yeah, so in online mode and offline mode, the only difference is that the way you're attending the session is different. Here you're in offline mode, you'll come to our office in Bangalore, our institute in Bangalore, and we'll take the sessions in our premise, right? Whereas in online mode, you have to attend the sessions live virtually, and in the class and lab sessions, you can clarify the doubts, right? And so there is nothing like doubt session specifically, right? Doubts can be asked anytime. You can ask during the class, you can ask during the lab, plus you can ask in the discussion forums and WhatsApp channels as well. Okay, that's about doubt clearing. Dedicated doubt clearing sessions will be conducted on demand also, which you can request to the mentors. Hope I answered your question, Sai. Then Varun is asking, what is the microcontroller being used? So microcontroller, we are using PIC microcontroller initially to teach the core fundamentals of microcontrollers. Here you're going to learn about architecture, peripheral interfacing, interrupt handling, timers, right? And interrupt, protocols, etc. You'll also be working on projects. Post that, in ILAM module, you're going to use ARM-based board, where you're going to learn about board bring up using ARM, which also you'll be learning as part of the course. Then we have another question from Reshma. Sir, what are the questions we can expect during interview about embedded core, right? So this is primarily something which is asked by students who wanted to apply for an embedded job. So please understand, whatever we teach, right, the subjects which are highlighted just few minutes back, questions will be based upon that. Okay, so you can expect questions from all the modules which I shared. So if you do well in these modules, then it's as if you are preparing for interview. That is separately, you don't have to prepare for interviews. You just complete these modules. That is good enough for you to crack the interviews, Reshma, right? So we'll focus on those questions also in our day-to-day class and lab sessions. Pranay, if there is aptitude classes, so Pranay, as such, we don't conduct aptitude classes, but we'll share the necessary materials for you so that you can prepare for aptitude. Aptitude is something which you can practice on a regular basis. Again, this happens only in the first round. Only test will be there. That too, not all companies ask aptitude. Majority of the companies have technical test. Some of the companies have aptitude test also, right? Which we have to prepare independently. Okay, I think Gino is asking some question related to, okay, I think he's in 8th semester and have 11 areas in B triple E. Okay, I think, okay, some of you might have areas. So the question could be, is this a good time to learn the course? I would say definitely yes, right? So only thing is that you need to focus and ensure that you're attending the course, embedded system course in Emertxe. Meanwhile, you have to clear the backlogs. It's important to clear the backlogs parallelly so that you can apply for placements, right? So eligibility criteria for placement is there. You should not have any backlogs and you should have completed your engineering. Okay, so you can still attend the course, parallelly complete the backlogs. Varun is asking, offline mode lab sessions all will be offline. Yes, offline mode lab sessions will be offline. Plus, we are conducting some additional sessions called as extended labs, which also you can attend as part of the course, right, Varun? So labs will be offline, yes, for offline. Online, the lab will be online. Then Sai is asking, can I do course in online mode for theory class and practical sessions? Can I join in offline mode? Currently, we don't support this, wherein, okay, because the class and lab sessions happen on the same day, right? So we'll have 2 hours of, for example, online class followed by another, for example, closer to 2 hours with a break. We'll have lab sessions. It happens continuously on the same day. So this mode of delivery will be difficult for you to attend also. So better you stick to one, either attend online mode or you attend offline mode. Hybrid is option currently we don't support. But let's say you opt for online course, right? And yeah, let's say you're in Bangalore, right? And you want to come and visit us, you can do that. You can always do that, not a problem, right? You can come here and basically you can practice as well. That is also fine once in a while. Darshan is asking, do we learn PCB design as part of the course? Darshan, we are focusing on embedded software development here. PCB design is not taught as part of the course, right? We're not focusing on the hardware design part of it. We're focusing on the software, embedded software development part of it, which most of the companies are looking for. I think Gino is repeating the question. I've already answered the question. And Varun, all the notes will be given. I think, yes. All necessary course materials will be given to you. Okay, I'll share that information as well. Okay, so a lot of questions are coming. Okay, let me see. I'll pick some of them. Some are repeated, which I'll take it later. Okay, relevant questions, let me pick up, right? How many rounds of interview? I think these things are not so relevant, Tayyib. it depends on the company, right? Some of the companies, they conduct 2 rounds of interview, some can be 4, etc. But typically you can say, right, 2 to 3 rounds of interview is conducted as part of any drive. All right, so one batch, how many students are there? In one batch, around 40 to 50 students will be there in a class, Rahul. Okay. Will you teach from scratch? Yes, Pavitra, that's the idea, right? We will teach you everything from scratch. Okay. If you don't know also, that's fine. We are going to cover everything from scratch. Okay. I'll cover the technical part of it. Maybe Jayakumar later on, he'll discuss about the placement part of it. Okay. Now lab practical will be on board. Yes, lab will be on board only, right, Pranay? So in the offline mode, you'll be given boards. Physically, you have to work on it. Whereas in the online mode, we'll give access to simulators, okay, which maybe I'll show a demo also. Subsequent, basically, topics when subsequently we'll cover the demo of the online mode of course delivery also. Here we'll discuss about how the microcontroller module is delivered in the online sessions also. So in online session, we'll be giving access to a simulator, which is similar to a real hardware. You can work on the simulator and you can complete the programs which are given to you, right? Optionally, you can buy a hardware also. We don't mandate it, but if you want, you can buy the hardware also. Yes, recorded sessions will be given for online classes, right? Offline classes, there is no recording, but online classes, recording will be given to you. Okay. All right. So Varun, is there any embedded design course? As I told Varun, I think we're not focusing on hardware here. We're going to focus only on the software part of it. Okay. Which is what most of the companies are looking for, right? Hardware requirements, relatively, we have less number of requirements on the hardware side. And we don't have specialized course as of now for the hardware design part of it. Mahesh is asking hostel facilities available. We will give access to PGs, right? So we'll give a lot of options are available. We are located in MG Road in Bangalore at the heart of the city. So we will share the details about PG, etc. once you're enrolled for the course, right? A lot of PG options are available in Bangalore. So the microcontroller is part of hardware. Yes, Darshan. Okay, so microcontroller, it's a hardware, but you're not going to design the hardware. You're going to develop applications for that hardware. Okay, that's what embedded system is all about. So one part of it is the hardware design part of it. Second part is the software development part of it. So software development is going to focus here in the course. Project also, Avinash is asking, will we cover any project? As I told you, as part of the course, you'll be working on at least 8 projects. Okay, so okay, Rakesh, can you please clarify how the projects are structured? Are they completed by the end of the course? Do you work them after finishing each module? Okay, that's a good question. So in every module, you have to work on 1 or 2 projects. Some of the projects will start after we cover some of the topics, right? So to do a project, the prerequisite needs to be covered. So once the prerequisite is covered, we'll be starting the project. It's not after finishing the course or after finishing the module. In between also, you'll be working on projects. So I think I answered most of your queries. If you have some more queries, feel free to post it. If I missed something also, right, you can post it. So what I'll do now is I will share a quick course demo of the microcontroller module. Okay, so that you can have a look at how the microcontroller module is delivered and the C module is delivered in the online mode. Let me share a quick snapshot of how the classes are taken in the online mode. All right, I'm sharing the C programming module recording for you, so you can observe how the online sessions are taken. So be it online, offline, the experience will be similar for you. Okay, so many of you have this question, how you take up the course online. I'm sharing a video for you. You can watch it.
Now, after an array has been declared, maybe I want to give the values into the array, because just the array's declaration will have garbage value. Assume I take int array of size 5. Okay, there has to be 20 bytes of memory allocated. Assume This is the 20 bytes of memory allocated for the array. So I'm storing 5 integers. So each integer takes how many bytes? Each integer takes how many bytes? Correct. So each integer takes 4 bytes. So if the address of the array is 1000, where will be the next?
Sorry about that. I think some buffering is happening. Let me just.
The next element present. Assume this is 1000. Where will be the next element present? Yes. Each of the element uses 4 bytes. So it is 1004, then 1008, 1012, 1016. To access the array's element, you have to go with something called as the index number. An index number varies between 0 to size minus 1. So very first element will be in index 0. Second element will be in index 1. Third element will be in index 2. Fourth element will be in index 3. And fifth element will be in index 4. Okay. If you just declare the array like this, the array's element will have garbage value by default. So in order to not have a garbage value present inside the memory block, maybe I want certain values to sit inside it. In such cases, I have to do the array's initialization. To initialize the array, here inside the curly braces, I have to give 5 elements: 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. In that case, that value will be written here. That will be 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, this is how I declare the array. This is how I do the initialization. And this is how the memory for the array will be allocated. Accessing happens with respect to the index number varying between 0 to size minus 1. See here, data type, name, size, where size represents the number of elements. So the total memory occupied by the arrays, number of elements multiplied by size of an element. That is in turn size into size of the data type. If this is the array I'm going to take of 5 size with the values 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, this will be the array. So the very starting address of the array always is called as the base address of the array. This address 1000 will always be called as the base address of the array. Or you can also call it as starting address or address of the very first element of the array. All of them means the same, but we usually refer it as base address. Okay, you can call it as base address, or you can call it as the starting address, or you also can call it as the address of first element. Okay, the starting address is called as the base address or starting address or address of the first element of the array. So then it is plus 4, plus 8, plus 12, plus 16. Index has to vary between 0 to size minus 1. So it has to be starting from 0. An array is a collection of similar data type. Elements occupy consecutive memory locations. First element will be in the lowest address and last element will be in the highest address. Elements are indexed from 0 to size minus 1.
Able to start basically attend the placements. Okay. And can you explain the difference between hardware and software embedded? I get that. Okay. So then the question from Sani Shah. Okay. Currently working as an AutoSAR core and embedded engineer, I want to improve my skill in order to get placed in OEM or tier 2 companies. I have experience around 2 by June of this year. So how you ensure to help out gaining skills in getting placed in those companies? So, so what we generally recommend people is that, not to be too specific about the type of companies, right? Broadly, you can, focus on the overall, the broad embedded spectrum of companies. But we also have good amount of automotive companies hiring in our portfolio. If you are so specific about that, you can give it a shot. Okay. But what I suggest is generally don't go too much. Rather, whatever your previous work experience is there, combine it with our course. See to it that how well you can leverage it. Okay. That may happen in the automotive company or may not happen in the automotive company. Okay. If it happens like that way, it's great. Okay. Because when it comes to internally, when companies come in, right, we don't restrict, right? Or I will not be able to predict when so-and-so automotive company will give an opportunity, right? The companies will come in certain, sequence depending on their need. Kindly note, right, we will not be able to even predict, okay, fine, this month 5 automotive companies will come, next month 5 IoT companies will come, no, right? As and when we have demand, they keep coming, and I show the statistics also. That's the overall number our placement team aspires to work on. Okay. So hope that's clear. Sanisha. Pavitra is asking, how many months will you support placement after the completion of course? That's actually 2 years from the time you complete our course. As I said, you can start applying after the 4th month. After that, you will complete the course. And after that, from the time you complete, we'll support for 2 years. Then we have a question from Sheetal Babar. Sheetal is asking, I am 2011 pass out, 2 years embedded experience. 2016 MTech pass out, then teaching experience of 2 years. After that, from 2018 break until now due to other responsibilities, now want to resume work by upskilling. Is it good way to do? Are there any placement opportunities also, right? Sheetal, I guess, majority of our girl students come with a profile like yours. They get married, they relocate to a different city, they go through the family way of pregnancy, break and stuff like that, right? So that's what majority of the cases they end up taking break from their career. And we do have a good amount of success stories of students who have gone through a similar challenges and want to resume back into their professional career. We have enough and more of success stories. Students who join the mainstream career after a good number of years of break. Okay? That is very well possible. Right? But my request is basically, focus on skill building. Ensure that you make your profile very good because you're a 2011 pass out, right? It's like all the more like it's like almost like a 14 years of even though you can say, right, you have worked on things like that, but in order to really make a strong case, I suggest that you really focus on our course and skill, and then build a solid profile. Then we'll be able to help you. Then we have Rakesh. So can you please clarify how the projects are structured? Are they completed by the end of the course, or do we work on them after finishing each module? Just a minute. Looks like somebody's knocking my door. All right. So basically, projects are interleaved in the module itself, rather than interleaving by the completion of every major module, be it C or data structures. By the end of it, we will be making you work on a project. Mentors will be assigning them, then you can do that. Right? Okay. Hope that's clear, Rakesh. Avinash also is talking about the project. Right? Hostel facility available, Mahesh. We don't have a facility of our own, but what our team has done, they have basically created curated a list of hostels which are nearby, are also reachable to our office because we are located in MG Road. Which is very much reachable by metro. So once you can get in touch with them, and they will be sharing you the list. Then it's up to you. From there, you can pick up whichever you want to, depending on the location, budget, right, student, and then your level of comfort, right? You can choose. Right? So per se, we don't have any, but we help you to get a good accommodation. But I don't think it's a big issue because As I said, our office is centrally located. Even the hostel or the PG is located far. It is reachable by, for example, metro. Then it's not an issue. Okay. I think fees, I'll just explain it later. Okay. All right. I think largely we covered all the questions. Okay. Is online attendees get 2-year placement support? Yes, Kirtana. Both offline and online, both of them will get the same placement support. Boparam is asking, is it free or paid course? It's a paid course, Boparam. It's not free. Okay. So suppose if I suppose complete my arrears after the course, where and your support me placement are eligible. Suppose complete my arrears after the course, right? Have you support the placement or I'm eligible for the placements? Your question is not very clear. Let me try to answer. I think what you're asking is, you join our course, right? You complete our course. After that, you complete the arrears, right? Will you support? Yes, we support. But important thing is, we can start applying only after you complete the arrears. As I said, no, companies do demand your provisional degree certificate. Okay. I think certificate I already answered. Salary, sorry, the course fee, I will just leave it to our team of counselors. I will share the contact details shortly. Hardware also, it's been explained. Okay. Varshita asking, what if we don't pass the placement eligibility test? Will there be another chance for us? Yes. Right. We do give 2 chances. You can, wait for once you fail, suppose in case you are not meeting the cutoff, you can wait for a few weeks, probably complete one more module, improve your skill level, then you apply. Okay. So the idea of this placement eligibility, Varshita, please note, it is to make your life easier when you go to placements. Right? We can very well say, you don't need to write anything here, directly go. Then you will not be able to clear basically the selection process of the company. So if you do well here, it becomes easy for you there. So take it that spirit. Okay? We're not here to stop anybody from placement. The idea of, often this gets perceived, in a different manner. The idea of placement eligibility test is not to stop somebody. Right? It's actually to help you so that you can go when you go to the company, because majority of the questions which are coming in the placement eligibility test, or even for that matter, mock interviews, right? Pretty much what the companies are asking. In fact, many times it so happens that the same question may come in the test also, right? In the company written test, because our mentors and the team of our technical experts know what exactly is expected by these companies. So that way, you performing well here helps you there. As simple as that. Is there any certificates or other documents submit for attending the course for Emertxe? No, Gino. Basically, we need some photocopies of your certificates. I think that is for our team to verify your basic information. That's all. We need the photocopies. I think sometimes they run some scholarships for that purpose, calculating your percentage and all they may need. And we only need the photocopies. Okay. Your whatever 10th, 12th, your basic ID proof, a basic thing, whatever you want, right? So Darshan is asking, sir, is it placed in TN or they come from TN and placed in Karnataka? See, so Darshan, there is no there's no state bias here. Okay, companies also, right? They also don't bother where any students come from, right? As long as they find a talented student or skilled student, companies are ready to hire. There's no, for example, somebody can come from Karnataka, get placed in Gurgaon area. Somebody can come from Gurgaon, but they can get placed in Bangalore, right? Somebody can come from Kerala, get placed in a company in Chennai. A company, students from Chennai can get placed in Pune, right? So it's all about how well you are able to demonstrate the skill. So my request is not to either look at it from a state-wise perspective. You demonstrate the skills, companies will hire you. Okay? I would put like that. Okay. All right. I think mostly we answered. Okay. Okay. So let me cover some more points, and then we'll come back to this question, and then any pending questions, Heather will take it up. Give me a minute. So let me go off the video for some time. I have a few more slides to cover. Okay. Just 1 minute. Just something. Right. So let me share my screen. So we discussed quite a bit about placements. Let us understand it from more from the process point of view also. So this is how the overall end-to-end process works. So once you join our course, you will be added into our Google group. I'll probably quickly show you also about it. And then once you come and join our course, you need to complete our mandatory modules and then clear the placement eligibility test, and then start applying via the online link given. And then it will reach our placement team. They may run some internal shortlisting, and also it may go to our placement client. Sometimes they also apply some additional criteria, and then the return test and interview happens, and then the offer and the onboarding happens. Right? So the entire process, our team will be there to support you. From the beginning, definitely our mentors will be there in terms of your training part of it. And as you move later in the cycle, when you start working in the placement side, so along with the team of mentors who will be conducting the regular classes and also the other coaching programs in terms of resume preparation, interview preparation, they will be conducting so that you are well prepared. And we also have our student team who will be working with you on various scheduling, coordination, counseling, and all. Right. So throughout the cycle, you are well supported and your goal of getting placed. So I'll just show you the Google group. Let me go up the screen. So this is basically how our Google group works. You can see there the screen. You can see that very regularly the placement related information. You can see a lot of apply nows are coming, right? So that's like a kind of a flow where you can, suppose you want to open a company, right? In this open, so all the company related details, academic, salary, right? Branch, the process, right? So everything will be given. So this is how it works, right? Okay. So this group is not accessible for outsiders. It's only for university students. You'll be getting access once you join the course. I think placements we already discussed. Good number of questions. We support for 2 years, and one more important thing, we'll help you. To get people ask, can I get multiple job offers? The answer is no. You can apply for multiple companies, and whichever the first job offer you get, you need to take it up. Should I apply to all companies? Not necessarily. You have the choice. We don't force you. But whenever you apply, get selected, you need to join that company. Type of company they showed you, some of the logos in the social media, Google group also you saw. Year gap also we discussed. With respect to sometimes working professionals who take up this course, especially in the online mode, they may have some notice period with their current employer. That can be worked out in case somebody gets a job, through our placements team while they're working. We'll inform the placement companies also. They will wait for you to basically submit resignation from your current company, get relieved, and then join in that new company. So that way we can facilitate that. And as I said, our institution is affiliated with the Skill India or NSDC. Let me just show you a quick demo of that or a flash that certificate. So this is basically what I share you is the NSDC certificate what we have. Of course, we also get Emertxe certificate from our team. Okay. So this is an example you can see there. It is having the Skill India, NSDC, and ESSCA, that is Electronic Skill Sector Council of India, where our course is aligned. And basically, there's a role, and then this is a level 5 course, as I mentioned. Okay. So we'll also add our institution seal and signature, and then we'll be giving it. So this is an example of certificate. Recently, there is some template change also where they started putting the logo in the website itself. I think that also should be there. Team has updated. Let me just share you also. Nowadays they started putting in the. You can see here. This is a later template. I would say you can see that The certificate itself, Emertxe logo has been put. So moving on, we almost come to the end. I'll take questions, pending questions, right? So this is our counseling team's contact details. Their email ID is training@emertxe.com, and that is their number 809 555 7332. You can email them or email a call or WhatsApp them into the given number. One of them, it will be routed to one of the counselors. They will be definitely be supporting you. And these are all the course dates. So 25th of February, we are starting an online regular. Regular means it's a morning time batch. Followed by basically an offline class starting from 28th February, right? And then 4th March, we are actually starting an online evening batch, right? Basically a 7 p.m. batch. So these are the dates. Again, this is all published in website. So typically we start courses every month towards the last week. So the dates more or less remain the same. For example, March, they may start, March 25th, maybe here and there. But pretty much the last week we'll be starting the courses. And this is our coordinates. We are, in case you're in Bangalore, we are located in MG Road, adjacent to the Barton Center. And these are all our coordinates in social media. We're active in Instagram and in LinkedIn. I already showed you the Instagram page where we took some examples. The LinkedIn page also you can navigate, where we keep sharing a lot of valuable information. So let me just stop sharing, come in the screen, and then check any questions that we are missed answering. Yeah, okay, let me take. Varshita is telling, is there any entrance exam for joining the Emertxe Institute? Can we join in any month of the year, or any batch waiting list, right? So we don't have an entrance exam, Varshita. And as I mentioned, we start batches every month towards the last week. Is trial class available before joining, Mahesh? No. Whatever we showed you, the demo ones, right? That itself should be more than sufficient for you to basically get a view of how the subject is delivered. Okay, you can go through that, but we don't have a demo class where you can come sit in a few days and then decide. We don't have that concept. Okay. What is the cost of the online and offline? Any installment available, Akash? As I mentioned, please talk to a team of counselors. They will explain the modalities. I think there is also, installment option available. You can check with them. So if you come from Karnataka and then I get placed in TN, is there any option for us to choose which area we want to work? Darshan is like, Darshan, I think, I request, right? It is purely depends on the company. Okay. And, it depends on their requirement. Wherever they have a requirement, you need to go. I put like that. Okay. Which type of hardware board do you provide, sir, for lab practical? I think Mubeen has already mentioned this, so I'll skip that, Pranay. Cost of the courses also I mentioned. Please get in touch with the counselors. Lab also I clarified. Okay. Laptop I clarified. Scholarship, yes, you can get in touch with our team, Andu Selvan. If time to time they run, not all the times, you can check if they're running currently, they may give you. I'm currently attending my 6th seminar after completing my internship at Emertxe. I'm eligible to enroll in the course. Additionally, could you please guide me on how to apply for internship at Emertxe, right? So again, Karanam, I suggest that you 6th seminar you're attending, fine. So you can get in touch with the counselors. I suggest they will guide you. For the job, must be a graduation, right, Mohuda? Definitely, they need a graduation. That too, preferably B.Tech, largely, right? That's what is the idea. Okay, I think most of the questions I've answered, unless something got fallen through the chats. Okay. In case if you're not answered, you can just copy paste your question once again. I will be able to answer. Mohammed is asking, once get placed, will you provide more opportunities? No, I think I already clarified. Once you get placed in any company, we'll stop your placements there. We don't support multiple job opportunities. Right? Whether withdrawal option available after joining? Okay. So, in case if you withdraw, we don't recommend that, right? We expect people to basically take the course. That's the reason why we are giving all the information, Mahesh. It is your choice, right? But if you are coming from the idea of, whether if a withdraw, will they pay the, will they refund the fee? No. Okay. If your question is that, no. Okay. So that's the reason, if you're ready, if to make it things clear, to reiterate some important things, you have any doubt, that's why we are running this webinar. End of the day, it's your choice, right? And now I tell you in every webinar, it's not only this webinar, right? Every webinar you can go and check in the past and even in future also. We tell you are the best decision maker for your career. Right? What is me and Mubeen are trying to do here, right? With our best of our abilities, we are sharing the realistic information as it is, and then clarify your queries. Then you are the boss, right, for your career. Okay, Varun is telling, if I take evening class, suppose, and if I have doubt, can I stay in the class until I gets my doubt clear? See, Varun, what happens is evening class in the sense, like, see, anytime there is a mentor's availability is there. So, for example, whether it's the online evening you are telling, right? Suppose you're taking this particular class, right? There will be a mentor available. You can go and ask them doubts. Whether it's an online, offline, you can come and meet them and ask. They're available within the working hours, right? But in case you are taking the course online or you are asking the questions outside the working hours, there is a WhatsApp group. Student WhatsApp group will be provided. There you can post the questions, right? Our mentors do respond. Okay? They do respond quite fast, and it's very, very late or something. That also they keep telling me that they do respond even in some later hours also. But generally they are very fast. I know that, right? So you will get your doubts clarified. No issues. Okay. All right. Is there any other questions? Let me see. All right. And there's a question from Gino. Sir, if you attend an online class, we want to show our face to the mentor. Gino is so shy. He's finding hard to talk in English. He's finding hard to show his face to the mentor. So we don't force that, Gino. But if you love sometimes, right, to turn on the classes, right, like how I'm doing now. Because it's good to keep this interactive, right? From that perspective, we do that, but not necessary that we force somebody to come in the camera. But yeah, if they're taking mock interview or something, you need to come in video, right? There's no other choice. Okay. Is there any different roles in embedded software? See, embedded software, again, it's a different roles are there. For example, you can be somebody who is developing a firmware or low-level software. You can be doing a middleware development, application development, bug fixing, testing, verification and validation, automation, right? All these things fall under the embedded software, engineer role. You may be involved in any one of those responsibilities, depending on the company which hires, right? And which layer or which area they have the opening, right? For example, let's say a company may come, they may hire 3 people, right? One may go to let's say an embedded application development, a project. Another may go to a bug fixing project. Another may do the verification, validation, or testing work, right? Depends on the need. But what I'm saying is all the options are available with our placement companies. Varun is saying, sir, I'm actually from substream of electronics named bioelectronics. Will it make any problem in placement? I don't think so, Varun. We also get students from biomedical engineering. We do get students from electronics and instrumentation. We also get students from electronics and telecommunication. And we get students from mechatronics, right? So I don't think there is a big issue here. I don't think, you just take this worry from your head. No issues at all. So what about the attendance in online? How will be taken, sir? If you watch full video, anytime attendance will be marked. See, unbelievable, kindly note, I think Mubeen already clarified that all our classes are live classes. See, recorded we give it as an option, right, so that you can refer it offline. But every live class, there will be attendance marking mechanism. Yes, our mentors will be showing a QR code. You just scan it, so attendance will be marked. Okay. So I have 6.07 CGPA, then I got a placement after completing a course. Okay. I don't know, Sachin, your question is not complete. Maybe you're typing in below. Sir, if I'm online batch running in my course certificate, would you mention online course completion? Nothing like that, Sai. We don't mention as such, right? We say you are a course, that's all. Even in NSDC also, we don't specify. We just specify the course name, that's all. Okay. Okay, different software clarified, job roles also clarified. Is there any problem of lack of attendance in offline? Yes, definitely. If you don't come regularly for our classes, right, either in online or offline, right, you will not be able to perform in the placement eligibility test itself, right? Forget about performing well, because it's a highly practically driven class, right? You saw the video that Mubeen has shown, right? It's all, unfortunately today there's a buffering issue, but typically you see, right, it's a hands-on coding session. So if you miss, means you are going to miss the complete session, right? So attendance is very important. I think it's very basics, I would say, to maintain rate more than 95%. We have a very high expectation from our students in terms of attendance, because rest all things can be covered. Say somebody says, sir, I'm for example, I'm learning slowly, right? Or I'm finding this particular concept different, right? Our mentors are here to support you. But there is no way we can support if you don't come, no, right? It's not going to help. So Pranay, it won't work. Okay. They got a placement after completing embedded system course, then I'm completing electrical engineering. Still, I'm not clear with the question. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions, queries you have? Hope it gave you a good clarity. Was it helpful? Can you get any responses? How did you find the session? We're almost closing in. Thank you, says Anbu Silvan. Okay. So what will be the salary hike for an employee who's got 2 years of experience in embedded systems? Mokuba, that depends purely on the company, the role you play, and the skill set that you have. So I don't have a general formula for that, right? Right? In fact, none of them will be able to tell a general formula. It depends on, as I said, company, your skill set, right, and how well you are performing. These factors play important role. Okay. All right. Helpful. Fee structure, I already told you, Pavitra. Varun is telling thank you for helpful and guiding. Thank you, says Sai. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. Thanks for your patience. Thanks to your listening. If there is any problem with CGPA, I don't know what you mean by Pranay. If your certificate is given CGPA, you give in CGPA. That's all. I don't think any issue with that. So I hope this session was helpful. And this section, as you saw, it's getting recorded. Our team will do some minor edits. They'll also share you this particular video, and we'll also upload in the YouTube. You can see right from the past 3 years or so, we upload every month. Almost, maybe we might have missed 1 month here and there. It will get recorded and it will be uploaded in YouTube. So link also our team will sharing with you. In case if you have any doubts, you can get in touch with our team of counselors. They will be able to help you. And as I told you, this is a lesson closing note I always tell in every webinar. So basically, our goal, me and Mubeen, our goal is to share the information with our best of our abilities and experience, and present it as it is, right? And you are the best decision maker. And if you take the decision with your complete belief and put your efforts, definitely results will come. So I wish you all the best to all of you, whether you join embedded, non-embedded, whether you come to Emertxe, doesn't come to Emertxe. That is not our goal here. Our idea is to give you a general awareness and let you decide. Whatever you decide, as on behalf of Team Emertxe, I want to wish you all the very best. You're all very smart kids. You all do very well in your career. Okay? So thank you very much once again for joining in. So take care. Bye.